Hi, welcome to Craft Little Things. You might have seen these little mini cake stands that I made the other day. I made this daisy one and this plain, more straightforward one. I'm going to do a little variation on that theme today, and I'm going to be using this DSP, which is retired now, and I got it and I've never used it, I don't think. It's Springtime Foils from the, I'm assuming it's from the Spring Summer catalogue. I think it, I can't remember if it was a set, no, was it a celebration item? I don't think it was. Anyway, whatever, I've never used it. I think I've used a tiny strip of this and that's it. So I'm going to do like a little wedding themed version of this. So you need a few bits and bobs. I've chosen to use 2 of the designs. You could use 3 of the designs if you like and make your base different, but I'll make it the same. And what I've done is I've cut 3 circles of the striped foil, and they measure 3 3¾ in diameter. And I've used these dies again that I got from somewhere on the internet. I'll link them below. So I've cut 3 of those in that size. One's for the top of the stand and one's for the top and bottom of the box that I'm going to make. Then I've cut 2 in a smaller size. These are in the 3-inch diameter, and I've used the leaf and the gold for that one. And then for the stand itself, I've cut 2 pieces that are 3 by 2½ inches. And then for the sides and lid of box number 1, I've cut 2 pieces. These are 12 inches. I've not trimmed them down at all yet. One is 2¼ and one is 1¼ and I've done 1 in each design, so they're all by 12 inches, and then the wider one is 2¼ and the smaller one is 1¼ So I'm just going to do a little bit of scoring now. Still got all my crochet stuff out. I've been super productive the past few days. Lovely to have time to craft, isn't it? Right, so first of all I'm going to start with a stand. So the stand's going to go this way. So on the longer side I'm going to score at 2½ on each piece, at 2½, okay? And then on one piece I'm going to put the scored edge at the top, and I'm going to score at 1¼ just to the top, just to separate off that section there. So you've got 2 pieces, and then there's your score line going across. On the other one, I'm going to mark 1½ inches here, and then I'm going to come down at 1¼ to that 1½ inch mark. Okay, on the same end where I've done my ½ inch horizontal score line. Oh God, shiver up my back then. On the other piece, I'm going to turn it around, so my ½ inch horizontal score is at the bottom, and I'm just going to mark 1½ inches, and I'm going to come down at 1¼ to that 1½ inch mark. Okay, and that's to make my little legs of my box. And then on each of these strips I want to be scoring at the 1¼ inch strips. I need to be scoring at 1 inch, so I've got 1/4 inch left. Sorry, that's on the 1 inch strips. You can make it ½ inch if you want, but I just wanted to make it a bit neater. And then on these strips you want to be scoring at 2 inches on each piece. I don't even know if that was straight. Oh. Right, and that's it for scoring. That's my son's girlfriend going to work. Yeah. She's got her work out on, most definitely. They both work so hard, these kids. And there we go. Just score that up. I mean, you might want to make that 1/2 inch. But I've just made it 1/4 inch because I just wanted it to be quite neat. Now the trouble is, when you're making a cylinder box with a lid, it can be a little bit difficult to get, because obviously you're using circles that are the same size, so unless you make one that's just a tiny bit smaller, you're going to struggle to get a lid to fit. So what I do is I just make the band slightly tighter on the bottom or the top, whichever way you want to go with it. But if you just make the band slightly tighter on the bottom, and slightly looser on the top, it's barely noticeable that they're different, but it just gives you enough to get the lid on. I'll show you what I mean anyway. So there we have those score lines burnished. And then for this one, we need to get our scissors and we need to cut the little mark there, and we need to cut the big mark there. And then what we need to do is fold one forward and one backward, because they're going to stick and be our little stands. Okay? And then for this one, we need to cut just one cut down to the middle and do the same, one forward and one backward. And now we're going to make the little indent into these like we did with the daisy one. So I'm going to take the 1 3/4 inch punch. You can take any punch you want to take, really. And I'm just going to notch out a little crescent shape. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that crescent shape in a pencil. If you don't want to mark your paper, you can always just use a pokey tool or something, just to make, instead of making pencil marks, to make can't see for looking. And there we go. And then just pop that one onto your other one. Put it on the back, because the back of this is plain. And just line it up with your pencil again and just draw in those lines, and then we'll get that straight all the same, because you're going to cut that out, so it doesn't matter. So just line that up and then do the other side. Okay, so you should have two pieces that are pretty much the same, and then they'll slot together like so. Before you slot them together though, let me just, oops, I forgot one thing, and that is just notching these top flaps, and notch them in quite generously as well. Okay, get rid of all those little bits, and then that will slot together like that. The only problem with this is that only one side is patterned, so you might want to double these up and stick them back to back, so you've got the pattern on both sides, but it doesn't, won't that go any further? I don't think I've cut that one down far enough. Yeah, it doesn't matter that much if you're just going to have it standing as a display or something, because as you can see from that angle they're all the same, that angle they're all plain. So you might want to just, like I say, you might want to just double it up, and they will all, that's it, they will all have glue on and they will all stick to one of these. So I'm going to do that now because I may as well let that be drying. Put a little bit more glue on the shiny edges. Try and get it central. The more central it is, the more sturdy it'll be. And then as you're gluing it down, just sort of push the sides out so that they're so that the whole thing's more square, because it will have a tendency to try and roll itself in. So just press those down and let them glue themselves into place. Okay, and let that just, and that already looks cute as it is. Just let that, like I say, from this side, if you've got it standing in a display cabinet or something, or on a craft fair, you're only going to see that front bit, or even on a buffet table or whatever you're going to use it for. But this is actually designed as like a gift or as a photo prop. So right, so the next thing is, these are going to be the box lid and the box base, okay, and these are going to be the box lid and the box base for the smaller version. So what we need to do is we need to take this box base, we'll start with a stripy one, and we need to just cut at about every 1/4 of an inch. Now, it's, I mean, if you want to, you can go and you can put it in your scorer and you can score it. I'm not going to, I'm just going to cut it up to that first score line and cut it at every 1/4 of an inch-ish, every 1/2 an inch. It doesn't have to be precise. But I don't mind if my lid's just slightly over, if the base is slightly over. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put some glue down the side there. Oh, it's quite a lot of glue. I'm I'm going to let it overlap by about 1/2 inch. For this one. I'll just overlap it by 1/2 inch. And if you want, you can mark out 1/2 inch. And then what you'll find is that the lid is slightly bigger, but that's the base is slightly bigger, which is fine because we want to have the lid to fit nice and snug, don't we? And you'll find that this all folds down automatically. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to run some glue. I'm going to actually run it on the tabs because I don't want it to overflow. So I'm going to run the glue onto the tabs. Fortunately, I've lost some tabs there, so I'm just going to rub it onto the thing. And then I'm just going to position that onto the base. And position that onto the base. So that's fine. And then the lid, we do the same thing. So the lid just cut out. I mean, you can, oh, that's the wrong piece. You can cut out, I'm just going to snip off the edges. Some people cut out points instead, so they sort of zigzag across. So I think that's what I'm going to do for this one. Zigzag across. And you're not going to need, it's easy to get the pieces out, and you're not going to need all of this length for this one. So it's not such a big deal. So just cut out I'll show you, look. Just zigzag it out. If you've got a zigzag trimmer or something, you could possibly use that. So why you need this is 10 1/4 inches, okay? Now for the bottom, overlap it 1/2 inch, okay? And for the top, overlap it 1/4 inch, and then it should fit really nicely. That's the bottom. I'm just going to put the glue around. See, just up to the rim. So where we just have that tiny little protrusion around the base, I'm going to run, oh my goodness, the guy across the road half naked in his garden is not the best of sights. So we end up with our stand, our first gift box, and then on the top our second gift box, and that's what we end up with. What a beautiful creation is that. That is absolutely stunning, if I do say so myself. That's what we get. Obviously you'll be able to see the photograph better. So it's like a wedding cake gift box. Oh my goodness, that is beautiful. Right, I tell you what, that would make a gorgeous prop. Thanks for joining me for that, and for my little trial and error project. Like I said, if I was going to change anything, I'd probably make this the next size up. I don't know, not necessarily wood. I'd do a 1/2 inch instead of a 1/4 inch for the little triangles. But that's all I'd change. Okay, so thanks for joining me for that. Absolutely love that project. That is right up my street, that kind of glamorousness. I love it. And obviously you could stick a little tag on, but I couldn't bear to destroy the beautifulness of that with a tag. So thanks for joining me, and I'm all gluey and sticky now, so I'm going to go and get cleaned up a bit, and I'll be back with another project. You can bet your bottom dollar on it. Soon as. Gosh, I love that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again very soon. Let me just end with a fabulous shot of this beautiful gift box. Duo of gift boxes, in fact.